Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Contractor Tips. Today, we're going to be diving deep and talking about the different pricing models that you can employ when you're selling jobs in your construction and home service business. Let's jump into it. So why does this matter? Why is this important? You need to understand the different methods that your contract and your bidding system go together for you to be able to price out jobs. There's three different main methods that I'm going to go over today, which are time and materials, cost plus, and fixed price methods and contracts. This is super important as you start building your business because each one has different amounts of specifics and experience required to be able to do it very well. There's pros and cons to each method. Some you can make more money, but some are more risky. And so we have to weigh all these options when we're looking at the different pricing models that we're going to use in our construction business. Model number one, time and materials. This is usually where contractors and handymen and home service pros start in their pricing journey. Basically, this comes down to you make an agreement with the homeowner, the client, that you're going to be X dollars per hour that you and your helper or whatever are on the job site. And you track your time and you multiply it by the hourly rate, and that's what you charge them. And then the materials, you bill the homeowner all the exact prices of the materials. Basically, you keep your receipts, you list it all out, like what you bought, how much it cost, and they pay for that. Usually in this method, you bill maybe weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. You can structure that different ways so that you're maintaining cash flow coming in based on your hourly production rate. This style of pricing requires that you keep really good records of how much time you're actually spending on the job. The pro is that it doesn't require a lot of experience and understanding of what jobs and projects cost to be able to use this method. You just need to determine the hourly rate, your burden rate for your employee, and markup in that hourly rate. So you know that if you're paying a guy $20 an hour and the burden rate's $30 and you're billing out $50 an hour, that you're making $20 an hour for every hour that you have your employee on the job site. This makes it very straightforward that if you can keep him on the job site 30 to 40 hours a week, you know how much gross margin is coming in off those projects. Some of the downsides are you have limited upside. You're not marking up things. You don't know what it's going to cost. You're not as in control of your schedule this way because, they can keep adding things and you're kind of flying blind in some of the process. So another con is that the price can get out of control, and it's really important that you keep the client updated weekly where the price of the project is at so that they're keeping you paid up and that you're not running over their overall budget that they may not have even communicated to you. After you've done time and material pricing and decide that you want to go to another level and increase your markup and margins, typically people move to cost plus. The cost plus method is that you bill the client all the direct costs and then you add a markup to that. Typically I'm seeing, cost plus 20, cost plus 30, all these different numbers thrown around, but you tell the client up front that you're going to bill them all the direct costs and a markup. Another method would be a cost plus fixed fee, where you determine that your fixed fee for that remodel project, let's say it's 20 grand. Then you're going to bill all the direct costs that you estimate at blank plus $20,000 fixed fee. And that fixed fee is not going to change no matter if the price increases or decreases on the project or if the homeowner were to buy their own materials. Cost plus provides a lot of flexibility in missing things in the planning stage, not being exact, inexperienced estimating. It kind of can protect you from all of that, and it really opens up the door for you to make consistent margin. You're going to make less than fixed price, but you can be safe. And that's one of the big things as you start growing your business is that this method of pricing covers a lot of the unknowns. Be wary, and one of the things that homeowners will try to get you to agree to is a cost plus contract with a not to exceed number. That can be very dangerous. Try to avoid those at all costs. But this method opens up the door for you to price larger jobs and be able to mark up materials and labor and subcontractors for you to make the margin that your company needs to make. In this method, you also need to keep very accurate records so that you can stay on top of your monthly billing, bi-weekly billing, and invoice correctly, because the clients in this method should have the right to see the receipts and understand what they're actually spending their money on and how you're tracking, labor hours, subcontractor costs, and materials. As you gain more experience, the pinnacle, what most commercial work and most builders are operating on is fixed price pricing. Fixed price pricing is pretty simple. You figure out all the costs, you apply the overhead markup that you need to have for your business to be profitable, and then you offer them a fixed price one number basically for a scope of work, and your margin, profit, and everything is built into that price. The advantages to both the homeowner and the contractor is that you know how much money they're going to spend and kind of a time frame going into it, like the full scope of the project. One of the disadvantages is there's no flexibility. You're going to have to do change orders and things like that as things come up in the remodel project and things change, or have enough buffer that you're willing to absorb some of those small hurdles that are going to come up in the process. Another con is that this method really relies on you and your estimating staff being really good at digging in, getting a complete scope of the project, and knowing and understanding the actual cost that the project is going to cost to complete. Usually, this takes experience, and so it's really hard, and you're going to undersell yourself short early on if you don't understand your cost in producing the project that you're doing. Really, the only thing that gets you there, in my opinion, is experience. I've been burned a lot, offering fixed price model contracts early on without having a full understanding of how I was pricing and bidding projects. But now with this method, I can make a higher margin, have higher markup and all of that because I really have a deep understanding of my cost at this point after 9 to 10 years in the construction business. The opportunity here is that you can increase your margin by offering fixed price and working your costs down and charging a higher profit markup and things like that, because that's the benefit is everybody's going into the project understanding that there is a total price for the project. In remodeling, you could easily be at 100% markup. In new construction, you could be anywhere from 30 to 50% markup in the fixed price model. You just have to maintain cost control, and the advantage to everybody is that cost control. We know what the target is, and that's what we're chasing after. So let's recap the 3 pricing models. You have time and materials, which is simply you billing out so much per hour plus the cost of materials. Then you can move to cost plus pricing, which is all the direct costs, subs, materials, and labor, plus a fee that could be a percentage or a fixed fee applied to the cost of the project. And then lastly, you have fixed price, which has the total price of the project as a lump sum for a defined scope of work. All of these models work for all the different construction businesses from handyman to new construction, and they have their different pros and cons that we've discussed throughout this video. You could change back and forth, but ideally you find one of these models that works for your business and you continuously keep applying that to the product and service that you're offering. It's going to make your contracts easier to do. It's going to make the bookkeeping and record keeping, all of that pretty straightforward as long as you know the consistent process for whichever method that you choose. Be sure to consult with a contract attorney in your market so that you can make sure that your construction contract covers whichever pricing model that you're using. So get out there and review what pricing model you're using and make sure your contract matches that. And if you want to try one of the others, go for it. There's nothing stopping you from applying one of these pricing models to the service that you're offering. Be sure to check out other videos on pricing, budgeting, and bidding projects on my YouTube channel for more information on this topic. If you still need more help, please reach out to me or comment below. I'd love to talk to you about how we could work together and update your sales model, your pricing model, and other things through a business coaching relationship. Right now, I'm running a 4-month coaching offer special. It's 8 calls, all my educational content, and more. Just shoot me an email at nategriffin.co for more details. If you got value out of this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell below as we'll be dropping another contractor tip video next Tuesday.